Brazilian jazz, it's lush, it's lyrical, it's sensual, and at times it's completely hypnotic. But here's the kicker. While names like Stan Getz and João Gilberto may sound familiar, Brazilian jazz goes way deeper than just the girl from Ipanema. In today's video, we're uncovering 10 essential Brazilian jazz albums. Not just for jazz heads, but for anyone who loves timeless music. These albums shaped not only jazz in Brazil, but the global sound of jazz itself. Whether you're brand new to Brazilian jazz or you're already knee-deep in Brazilian jazz vinyl, stick around because this list might just surprise you. And by the end, you'll walk away with a deep appreciation for one of the most vibrant, emotional and rhythmically complex genres ever created. Brazilian jazz isn't just jazz played in Brazil. It's the result of deep cultural fusion. Samba, the heartbeat of Brazil, brings rhythm. Bossa Nova adds elegance and restraint. Then jazz improvisation, that's the spice. From the 1950s onwards, Brazilian composers started blending Afro-Brazilian rhythms, classical European harmony, and American jazz techniques. This gave rise to a sound that was at once relaxing and incredibly complex. Think of Brazilian jazz as the intersection between the street and the symphony. Let's dive into the top 10 albums that best capture this magic. We start in the modern era. Dan Costa's Sweet Três Rios is a stunning tribute to Brazil's musical geography. The album is a suite, each track named after a different river. Costa blends classical piano technique with Brazilian rhythmic traditions like maracatu and balao. His collaboration with legends like Jack Morellenbaum gives this album both credibility and emotional depth. It's lyrical, refined, and meditative, the perfect modern entry into the genre. Next is Coisas by Moacir Santos. If you don't know Coisas, you're missing a key chapter in Brazilian jazz. Moacir Santos was an orchestral genius. Think of him as Brazil's answer to Duke Ellington or Charles Mingus. The album Coisas, which literally means things, features 10 tracks simply titled Coisa number 1 through Coisa number 10. But don't let the simplicity fool you. The writing here is dense, funky, and incredibly forward-thinking. This was Brazilian jazz before Bossa Nova got cool in the US. Listen to Coisa number 5 and tell me you're not hearing hip-hop grooves 30 years before their time. Next, Clube da Esquina by Milton Nascimento and Lo Borges. Clube da Esquina isn't just an album, it's a manifesto. It's where Brazilian rock, psychedelia, folk, and jazz collide. Milton Nascimento's voice floats like it's from another planet. It's a massive double LP filled with strange key changes, haunting melodies, and political undertones. The club, or corner club, was an actual collective of musicians from Minas Gerais, many of whom would go on to reshape Brazilian music. This album is a universe, and for jazz fans, the improvisational complexity and harmonic innovation are gold. It's prog jazz, it's soul jazz, it's everything. Now we have Wave by Antônio Carlos Jobim. Jobim's Wave is like stepping into a lush rainforest, painted in soft string arrangements and cool piano chords. This album is where Bossa Nova becomes cinematic. The title track Wave, with its iconic opening, has been covered by countless artists, but Jobim's original is still unmatched in grace. Recorded in the US with top jazz players like Ron Carter, this album was Jobim's way of saying Brazilian jazz belongs on the world stage, and it worked. Next we have Elis and Tom, Elis Regina and Antônio Carlos Jobim. This might just be the greatest duet album in jazz. Elis Regina and Tom Jobim recorded Elis and Tom in Los Angeles over a few intense recording sessions. What you hear is real chemistry. Regina's voice, playful, aching, explosive, dances with Jobim's laid-back delivery and lush arrangement arrangements. Songs like Aguas de Marco have become classics, but on this album, every track is a masterclass in nuance, phrasing, and emotion. It's romance in musical form and heartbreak too. Now we have Getz Gilberto by Stan Getz and João Gilberto. You knew this one was coming. Getz Gilberto introduced bossa nova to the world. And yes, the girl from Ipanema is here. But beyond the commercial success lies an intimate, minimalist soundscape. João Gilberto's whisper singing, Astrid's now iconic vocals, and Stan Getz's warm tenor sax combined to create a new musical language. It's no overstatement to say that this album changed jazz forever. It won multiple Grammys and, more importantly, made Brazilian music global. Now we have Samambaia by César, Camargo, Mariano and Hélio Delmiro. Here's one for the jazz nerds. Samambaia is an instrumental tour de force. Mariano on piano, Delmiro on guitar. Two virtuosos at the peak of their powers. This album takes Brazilian harmony and gives it an electric jazz fusion spin. If you love Chick Corea or Herbie Hancock, this album is your gateway into Brazilian jazz fusion. Every track is meticulously arranged but still breathes with improvisational fire. It's a hidden gem and one that deserves way more recognition. Now we have Africa Brazil by Jobim. Funky, political, irresistibly danceable. Africa Brazil isn't a jazz album in the traditional sense, but it's undeniably jazz in spirit. Jobim's fusion of samba, afrobeat and funk created a percussive juggernaut. The rhythms are complex, the grooves are heavy, and the lyrics speak to African identity and resistance. This album was way ahead of its time. It's as influential to Brazilian hip-hop and R&B as it is to jazz. Next is Stoneflower by Antônio Carlos Jobim. Back to Jobim, but a very different side of him. Stoneflower is moody, mystical and slightly psychedelic. It's bossa nova for the rainy season. Recorded with Umer Deodato and Creed Taylor at CTI Records, it features subtle electric piano textures and off-kilter rhythms. This is Jobim experimenting, pushing boundaries. It's quietly radical and stunningly beautiful. Lastly, we have Chega de Saudade by João Gilberto. Chega de Saudade is ground zero, the album that birthed bossa nova and changed jazz forever. Gilberto's revolutionary right-hand guitar technique, playing rhythm and harmony simultaneously, redefined what Brazilian music could sound like. His vocals, barely above a whisper, yet they command the room. This album's influence stretches from Miles Davis to Radiohead. It's not just essential Brazilian jazz, it's essential music, full stop. Brazilian jazz is more than just a genre. It's a feeling. A conversation between rhythm and melody, tradition and innovation, joy and saudade. So now it's over to you. What's your favourite Brazilian jazz album? Did I miss any classics? Drop your thoughts in the comments and let's build the ultimate listener's guide together. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like and consider subscribing for more jazz related content. Until next time, stay inspired and keep the groove alive.